We do see the Ignite coming out of Zornis as well, and the Flash coming out of Doraemon. So, you know, we are used to seeing the Camille's in these carry versus carry matchups going for that TP Ignite, but deciding to go for that Flash, you know, might feel like he needs that one for the team fights. He wants to play a lot more towards his team because we do see them group up right now as the 5-man 2 times in a row looking for those invades.
Always looking for that bot lane invade. It's fantastic. As blue side, I guess, just has that blessing. And what's also quite interesting for me is that last game, I believe it was high 80% in favor of Antic. The fan vote this time gone completely against it with 50 going the way of Ion. So now they are the favorites. They are the ones hoping to bring this to a game 3. And it is all going to come down to that lane stability. But I tell you what, these junglers really have their work cut out for them.
Yeah, and I think that this might be a mistake by Ion going for that level 1 invade because, you know, you look at this bot side of Ion, they do not really want to start the enemy's jungle and play for that 3-3 on the camp. But the fact they walked in means that they are able to get wards on the other side of the map. We see Raze walk in and drop that ward on the, you know, the mid lane outside the left camp. So they know when Coley shows on this ward where he is, and if he doesn't show on that ward by a certain time, they also know where he's getting, right? Just by process of elimination. So I think that this Lee Sin being tracked in the early game is, you know, quite a downfall for the side of Ion because they need to snowball this game.
They certainly do, and both champions not going to be too keen to go for those 4 clear heavy farming playstyle. It is going to be gank city, really is, and more so than what in the mid lane, because yeah, whilst Joby wants to try and dash on in and utilize those electrocute procs with the sudden impact, he's going to cop a lot of damage on the trade there back.
And something I will say about Raze is he always swaps skins, right? He just constantly cycles through them. He never ever uses one skin in particular, but I have never seen him lose on this skin, Skinny. I will say, ever since he came out, I've never seen him lose on this Tristana skin in particular. So I think he's locking in. He's like, all right, guys, it's game 2. It's do or die now. If we win, we're going that best of 5. So I'll lock in. But going forward onto the Tristana, which has all the cooldowns, is very scary. But this is one of the strengths of the passive from LeBlanc. You can't deny any trade going back, and he is concerned about Lee Sin right now. He can, you know, always jump forward and punish the cooldowns coming out of Joby, but he has to worry about, oh, if Coley is here, which he should be because Lee Sin wants to interact with his mid lane, that's going to be him falling down.
Really nice timing though of Foreigner to make sure he's in the right area at the right time. Oh no! They fit them with the chains, that's fantastic, but Foreigner with that twisted advance is even better.
Yeah, Ray's really late on the jump there, so he does find himself getting caught up by that second chain. That's easy Sonic Wave secure for Coley. They do find the first blood. Going to be a trade going towards Antic as well, but I would say that favors Ion, especially because you know, the gold is going on to LeBlanc or the Lee Sin, which is so important for both of these champs who need to get ahead. But Joby almost go. Oh, never mind, Skinny. Does go down.
Okay, well, he's locked in. You said he doesn't lose in the skin. I was thinking maybe there's a bit of cast the curse because you've got that power now, the inside information. That's what he likes to do. That's what he's always found himself with. But you've said it now. You've made it real, and he just dies to a gank right after.
Yeah, just not even a gank series, just dying in the 1v1 straight up. So a bit of a disrespect coming out of the flash being traded. But this is, you know, what we're going to see in this matchup, right? We're going to see Tristana constantly jump forward and trade. Even though the health trades might be in favor of LeBlanc, the strength of the Tristana is the fact that you can buy sustain time. So I expect to see Ray's base here and if potentially pick up a Vamp Scepter. And if that is the case, will be a very, very easy laning phase for him. But if he does go for that Kraken, expect some, you know, more volatility going on there.
Good flash there from Draku. You could see that Hexflash was looking to try and jump in, but he's in a world of trouble now. He's so overcommitted. He's got no way out of this one. Gets ticked on down by the Ignite. Foreigner just swoops in then with that twisted advance. And this really is a complete difference of the Maokai in game 1. This is incredibly fair. 2 kills in already 4 minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think something to note as well, Skimmy, is the fact that all we're seeing from Foreigner right now is the majors, right? But the most successful games from him have been on these, you know, ganking junglers, these skirmishing junglers in the early game. And Maokai, a champion who is a tank, but also a champ really strong in the early game. And he's having a lot of success right now. But we do see the jump going forward. Chobi has that flash, but, you know, Ray trades his own flash and does find the easy solo kill for himself. So he's back in that lane, has the null magic mantle, and you're going to be at that stage where he can deny that lethal kill threat onto himself.
I love that replay so much, though. Just the confidence of, like, Jovi disengaging away, Ray's hitting the emote saying, yep, good job, mate, you're dead anyway. And it's like, yep, cinematic, you know, absolute cinema, as you'd say.
Yeah, just a very easy pickup for himself, but I think this is the hard part of this matchup, right? With both flashes being down, all of a sudden, Raze has that jump to, you know, Jovi has to go forward with the W, and then Raze can all of a sudden, if he continues to play his range, get out of that chain very comfortably. So there is, you know, a very hard time finding that kill pressure onto this Tristana right now, especially if he does end up hugging one side of the map. The only real way is to bait him to jump forward like this, Gibby.
Yeah, well, that's certainly one way to try and get yourself in a bit of a precarious situation. He's already blown the ultimate, but actually you can just stand within that wave and say, good luck landing that Sonic Wave. I'll entertain that 1v2, no problem whatsoever. And just look how much vision control Antic have in this bottom half. Be a little bit more aggressive as we do load back into the game. Looks like he's working towards some tankiness to start things off with, but do you think there's a world in which you can go Leandre's here?
I would say he doesn't really need to. Like, he can, but he doesn't need to just because, you know, Zoranus is going to apply so much of that aggression early, but Destiny getting caught out with no summoners to himself.
Yeah, he's just going to get gattled down here by Styx, who's going to cop a turret shot and be quite content with that one because he picks up the kill into Destiny. And then both junglers find themselves in the area just to make sure that nothing more comes of that. So a much more promising start this game by the side of Ion.
Yeah, and also something to note that every single time Collie does show, you know, Race does feel that confidence to jump forward in mid, so we might see him position a lot more comfortably when that Lee Sin is tracking the wards. Even talking about the vision control that this team does have is quite one-sided scheming, especially around the mid lane right now. They are enabling Race to play the game, and this is probably, I would say, Foreigner's expertise when it comes to playing, you know, their mid-jungle. Raze is at 80 carry coming into mid lane, so it's, you know, quite difficult to say, all right, I need vision here, I need, you know, this, I need control, I need you guys on these timers. I think this is just Foreigner doing a really good job making sure his mid lane is comfortable.
But it's what it comes down to, making sure that they can flourish and do as they do best. That's why they've had the longevity in their careers. But let's check in with Benvi, the coach of Grand Zero, see what he has to say. Actually mirrored with Katsuri then as well, believing this should go all the way to a Game 3. But still, once again, that Antic should prevail with that 2-1 score, believing that there's a lot of potential for it to be quite close, but some key picks could be the difference. Let's see then, Grub Fight is the go, and Hex Flash is the one under threat. Flash to safety, bait them away. Collie very easily able to ward hop to safety as well. And Antic, yet again, just able to stand and sort of shoo you off.
Yeah, this is the disconnect that we keep talking about with Ion. The fact that, you know, Jovi is in base, but all of a sudden, Collie and Hexflash are trying to contest those grubs. And Collie walks to the top lane, but then, you know, Hexflash goes in and loses his flash. So it's a very big disconnect for the whole team of Ion. And I think that, you know, the correct play probably would have been just to give the grubs all together, clear bot cans, and look for a potential play on the bot side of the map. But now that they've wasted all that tempo on top side, all of a sudden they lost the objective. They have no trailing on the other side of the map, and, you know, Antic are very comfortable right now.
Certainly are. The opportunity cost has really, you know, hurt them on that occasion. And whilst it's not the grandest gold lead at this stage, it's the potential of what it can become, right? Up by 500 gold. Doesn't seem like that big of a deal. But we saw what Antic were able to achieve with a very similar comp last game, with all 6 grubs going their way to punish that kind of indecision and lack of trade back in response. And that might be what it is now. The fact that we are back to those standard lane deployments, we must take this Drake again.
Yeah, and the Dragon is being started. Something important right now for Ion is to maintain this bot river vision control. You see that there is, you know, so much blue vision going on right now. These pink walls need to be protected if Antic do want to walk in contest, and that's when they need to strike. They have the Enchanted Crystal Outer. They have the priority on bot side for Hexflash to walk to mid lane. They have, you know, Jovi getting priority and walking to Fog of War. They need to maintain this control for the rest of the laning phase, or else it gets, you know, so much harder for them.
Yeah, it certainly does. The Scotties are going to try and steal away the blue, feeling pretty inspired after picking up that first Drake. Says maybe I can do one more on vision. And Raze is pretty keen to try and fight this one, but you can see that his bot lane is already locked underneath the tower, not wanting to give up any of this XP or gold. So whilst Coley will decide to disengage away from that one, he will still be in the vicinity and now actually go in for a second attempt, calling over Jovi.
But we do see Foreigner coming out of base with the completed item of the Zeke's Convergence right now, so he's so much stronger than everyone on the map. If this fight does happen, in which it will, Skimmy.
Certainly will. Yes, it certainly will. Hexflash is the one to try and start things off. Kick, looking back, Draku taken on down, picked up by Jovi. Great start for Iron then in this little scrap as Destiny tries to answer back with the Acafian Rain. Not to be enough on this occasion. Just really tickling them. But thankfully, the Blue Sentinel still stays on their end of the map.
Yeah, Draku just pretty much getting CC chained up there, unable to get out of the CC lockup and use his flash to survive before all the damage comes out of that team. You get to go on the replay. One of the things about Iron's Compass, they have so much damage, right? You know, Lee Sin, Sonic Wave, Execute, the blunt combo. It's so much front-loaded damage, and Draku just finds himself caught in the CC chain, unable to move, and there is no trade going on to the side of you know, Iron, because the ult from Foreigner already came out as he was walking onto that blue buff, and they just blocked that one up.
It was so easy as well for Styx, right? All that freedom just to attack, as we can see Raze do just that as well. Locked in place by the chains, forcing out the pressure, hitting the buster shot, and saying sweet dreams to Jovi. Well, there you have it. An AD carry really flourishing in this meta and loving it in the mid lane.
There's 2 solo kills going to Raze, you know, in both games, finding one apiece. So very nice to see that he is so comfortable on, you know, these matchups. We thought that he would only really do well against the AD carries. That's where his expertise would shine. But he's playing AD carries into these mages, even the assassins, which have less play than the mages, and doing really well.
Certainly is doing really, really well. The only person so far in this game with a champion bounty. And, I mean, honestly, top lane, where we expected it to be a little bit spicy, has probably been the most passive of it all.
Yeah, this has always been the quiet lane for both Antic and Ion. They've both teams do not put any pressure towards the top side or resources. We just see Coley in the early game, you're helping Doraemon with the wave reset, but a lot of the time it's just going to be the 1v1, come down to the matchup, and both these top lanes like to focus on the side lanes in the mid game. So we just see that preemptive swap come out because the grubs are coming up for 30 seconds, but Jovi, that's the wrong side.
Oh, where on earth is Safonic going? Got taken through space and time there. He's going to stand and deliver. Zeke's active, everybody low, and Destiny picks up that kill. Static Shift doing its due diligence there as Jovi gets popped to get an isolation 1v1 into Raze. And it's a double kill for Destiny as those two combined start to come into their own.
Yeah, and this was just a bit of an overextension from Jovi. You see him distortion into the enemy jungle because he's caught out of position, and this is that overextension. See, we keep seeing from Ion, they think they're, they're going for their proactive swap, they think they're uncontested, but all of a sudden, ANC are matching that same play, and all of a sudden they rock up with the same members, with bigger items, with the better team fight, and they win that one pretty convincingly.
They certainly do. Then here we go, potentially picking up all 6 grubs again as they'll find themselves 4. Iron looks to try and make a comeback. Hexflash jumps in, locking in place Foreigner, the kick away to safety as he will still live. Coley ticking on down to the explosive bomb of Raze, who does get kill confirmed. Jovi rocks up, but is it too little too late? Sticks under threat, Buster shot not enough, Barrier saving his bacon, and back to the grubs we go. And all 6 yet again.
Yeah, Raze is going to walk away from that one very disappointed. He knew he wanted that kill. That was his kill to take, but, doesn't see the barrier over the wall, so it doesn't find the execute with that, ult coming out of himself, but still a very easy win and 6 grubs going to Antic, 2 games in a row. You would think that the team with the LeBlanc Lee Sin would have that mid control, would be able to pick that one up, but this is just thanks to them navigating those early ganks onto the mid lane and trading the 1-for-1. But going into the replay, we see Jovi, think they have caught out Foreigner, but this is a tanky, someone who takes a long time to die, and this is what I was worried about when it came to LeBlanc. You can't outplay the Twisted Advance as the LeBlanc champion, and I almost got outplayed by the clone myself. I didn't even recognize that he had gone to the side, but Raze rotates from mid, cleans that one very easily, and the numbers advantage does the rest.
It certainly does do the rest at that point there, and as you mentioned, right, it's the Maokai, it's the Nautilus, anything that can look to try and lock you in place. You can have those fancy feet, but it doesn't matter. They will always find a way. Well, Jovi has opted for the CDR boots, a bit of a difference from what you'd usually see, whereas Ray's opting for the Merc Treads, needs that resistance, really wants to make sure he's as mobile as he possibly can be. As you spot there, Draku planting a ward in that bot tri-bush and just watching as they go back to base. But with all this power yet again, and with a whole minute left to siege, I think Destiny's got this tower.
Yeah, absolutely, especially with the 6 grubs left alone on the bot side. But Coley might be in trouble here. There is not a lot of damage coming out of this duel, and there is 3 members from the side of Ion, but Raze is rotating. Destiny has to kill Instinct, so expect the fight, Skimmy.
Yeah, Coley's jumped to safety on towards Hexflash, and maybe not safe enough as the Death Charge does follow. Foreigner stole away with the smite buff there, red buff, so he's quite happy about that one. And look, already Antic are border laning. They're grouping up and saying nowhere on this map is safe.
Yeah, they do recognize that, this is an extremely heavy scaling advantage. They need to group up, they need to fight, they need to do stuff as soon as possible to get an advantage somewhere in the game, because looking at all these lanes, there is no advantage for them right now in any individual prospects. They're losing every single position is behind in items and experience, so they really need to group up, throw out these arrows, throw out these LeBlanc chains, and find some kills really fast.
Well, all the plates then going towards Destiny. He'll pick up the tower before they all do come crumbling down, so must be very far ahead of anybody else in this game. But this is what Iron are looking to try and do. They say we need to answer back some way. Draku with the Spidey senses to know that this is looking a little bit too much of a suspicious moment. 4v1 onto Dominus. Immune inside their inner circle, but locked in place by the Hextech Ultimatum by so much time. But there is still a wave, and Coley's not going to fall on down. Ignite doesn't get the kill confirmation. And the 4-man gank party proves to be successful.
Yeah, Zoro's probably a bit bored and wants to go for that 1v4 outplay. Was extremely close for Draku coming at the end there, but that was a play he could have respected, right? He could have walked to the tower and waited for that rotation to happen, but let me hold my point with see Jovi getting caught out right now, Skimmy. This is a hard one to outplay with Draku's on the Nautilus.
Well, that's exactly right. How do you outplay this? Well, first of all, you can get your clone hooked. Destiny then gets ping-ponged back and says, well, I've also got a way to follow you no matter where you go. Killer Instinct's on his head and locks him down inside that alcove. And yet again, another really easy game for Foreigner to pilot. Picks up the quest, go kill the Herald. That's what he does. And, carries on.
You know what this reminds me of, Skimmy? I don't know if you remember the game in particular, but I will hold my point as we see. Coley hopefully can get to the wall.
He can get to the wall. I think he might just be out of range of that Nature's Grass. Nope, still gets rooted, and Destiny gets another. 8 kills then between both Raze and Destiny, who are so far ahead in a comp that scales so well. They're already up by 7k.
Yeah, absolutely. And back to no, I'm gonna hold my point. Draco, are we
Don't
hooking?
bother.
Are we hooking? Are we leaving? Okay, he's leaving. Okay, back to my point. I was gonna say this game reminds me of a very old game of SKT versus EG, I believe. And I'm gonna hold my point again. Give me small fights.
There's no time for history, no time for breakdown, because Destiny wants to flex the Mammoth emote. He just wants to say Tapoon.
Okay, I'm looking at the map state. It looks like everyone's basing. We're okay, Skivvy.
Hold.
Okay, I was going to say that this is a very old game at MSI where Faker was known for being the LeBlanc player of all time, right? And you do not give this player this champion no matter what. They left it up, they gave it to him, and they drafted a comp of, 5 champions that just owned LeBlanc. It was point and click, CC on every member. It was like Morgana mid, Maokai jungle, Nautilus. It was just hard to deal with, right? And we're seeing the same thing right now. Even though they weren't preparing for Jovi's LeBlanc, they've just dealt 5 champions that own LeBlanc. It's so hard for him to carry. It's so hard for him to get ahead. It's so hard for him to operate in the laning phase or even in the team fights. There's just no windows for this champion to really do anything this game.
Yeah, this is passively countered it, even if they weren't, consciously aware that that is the decision. That was the draft angle they were hoping to try and achieve. And we put so much stress on this LeBlanc-Lee Sin duo getting ahead. It's lacking at this stage, 2-7 for its KD. And it does really then lend its hand to, okay, Styx, what can you get accomplished on this? Ash, can we hit that PD nice and quickly? Perhaps Torimon, you can get some work done in these side lanes.
Yeah, and I also want to, we've talked a lot about what is happening, and we do see more fighting happening. Hexflash might be over the wall, but Raze.
Oh, but he's going to get traveled on this time. He says, you know what, you think you can lock us in place? We can do the same as well. Hexa Golden Millennium locks in place, Raze, but he just stands and holds and then says, watch, I've got Draku, his old supportive team member, locks in place that Camille. And Destiny now is dominating. Nature's Grass guarantees that he's hunting for a second, and that's what he'll get. Double kill for the Kaiser. Next one on the chopping block is Foreigner to take down Hexflash. Triple then for Destiny as he wants to lead the league for the most kills in playoffs.
And it feels bad to say, Skimmy, but it's hard to say this game isn't lights out for Ion already. I think the fact they are down this much gold, 11,000 gold lead already when they have a comp that needs to get ahead in the early game. They need to find a lead, whereas none of these champions really function in the enemy team is telling a lot about this game state right now because there's just so much scaling on Antic, there's so much team fight pressure, there's so much side lane control. They have all the boxes ticked and they have the gold lead to commend it.
And it just really feels like what happened during their best of two during the regular season, right? The first game going 25 minutes, the next game done in 16 and a half. We're so far ahead of the clock right now that we're looking to try and answer back. But Ion say we do still have some fighting spirit left in us. Both AD carries getting a killer piece so far. But it's Antic inside your base, having already taken down one inhibitor. They're going to take you down as well. They've taken 2, looking for a third. Thankfully, Jovi finds something and is able to remove Destiny, claiming a big bounty of gold.
Styx!
And Styx just be space gliding, gets immune. Doraemon jumps inside, and finally, Iron are able to answer back.
And the TP coming forward as well. Jovi's already picked himself up the 1,000 gold. Raise no matter for the jump. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Oh no, it's so brutal. So much damage, and as you say already, so hard to outplay, but they're just going to get whittled down. Styx acting like a support here, just making sure that Doraemon can keep running forward, but he dies! Draku claims it, Raze turns around and says, why are we running? And he just killed them all.
Hands on his head. Zarnus is so confused about what is happening, but Ion, they feel so pressured. They need to secure those kills. They need to make sure they find this goal because the moment Raze bases and sends all that money he picked up, it's going to be lights out, absolutely, but a nice outplay by, Raze to use the busted shot to push the Camille out of her own Hex, the ultimate, which deletes the ultimate itself. And Draco with a really nice re-engage. I think a nice thing about the Tristana play from Raze is the pre-jump on the kill, so you do find that, double reset just in case you do get cancelled. So that is a nice play by him. But also, SD's extremely good at securing kills, Skimmy.
Look, I tell you what, if you're a support player and you've stolen a few kills in the past, I tell you what, if you're going to go AD carry, you'd be so well adept at getting that one achieved. 9 kills already. Really would think that he's an AD carry main with the performances he's been putting in this playoffs so far. But they just look so far gone in this game, up by close to 14,000 gold. And we're not even at the 20-minute mark yet, Tally. Out goes the Enchanted Crystal Arrow, locks in place yet Draku again. CC chained for Oblivion. Dying underneath that Nexus tower, but the 6 scrubs are still there. Raze still wants more, jumps inside your base, knocks you back into the fountain, but can't find that killing blow. 1 turret falls on down, working onto the second. The Nexus now completely exposed. Could the game end right here and now? That's what Zornus wants to get achieved.
They want
the rest
more
of the team
kills.
looking to try and pad the KD a little bit more, but Zornus keeps snipping. Tally cosplay working overtime right now. He wins the game on his own. And I tell you what a convincing 2-0 for Antic to carry on their journey.
Yeah, an absolutely convincing 2-0. We saw at the end there that the Antic carries wanted to get some more kills, but Zoris has had enough of that game. He wants to end it. He wants to go back to play some solo queue. And what a performance out of this team, Skimmy. We saw that they wanted to, you know, garner some confidence going into the next series, and I think they absolutely have with that last performance.
And they certainly have, and commiserations obviously going towards Ion. They've been such a phenomenal team to watch all year long. Always that dark horse showcasing so many moments of brilliance, taking games away from somebody